Shoot. Well, welcome everybody to the Adventure14 version of the Weekly Slap. I am your host, Adventure14. Prepared myself a drink beforehand. I'm drinking a very thick White Russian. I picked a subject for today, and it's something that I have been thinking about a lot, and it's weighing heavily on me, I suppose. Not as much now, but definitely over the last 6 months. The stuff that happened with my personal life and my dating relationships really kind of messed up my content for you guys. And I know I'm not being paid. I know I have no loyalties to doing this. I don't have to do this. Does that make sense? But I want to, and by doing so, I kind of make a promise to y'all to do my best. And I feel like I haven't been doing that for a while. I just got really self-destructive and really worn out. Because part of it is just being tired. And then part of it is kind of self-destruction, self-hatred, hatred of everything around me in my life. And I'm not really in that place anymore, so now it's a little easier to talk about. I couldn't really I couldn't make it make sense and get what was going on with me across then, so this is probably going to be interesting for quite a few people. This is going to be a long video, by the way. So hopefully y'all are willing to sit through the talk. We're going to try to, get to doing these videos once a month, maybe. Once every 2 months, surely, hopefully once every month. That's the plan. Calling this series Adventure14 Patch Notes. Good stuff. So, going off of that intro, you're probably wondering, what happened? What happened to you, Brendan? What happened to you, Adventure14? Why are you like this? We'd have to go back to childhood for me to explain to you why I'm like the way I am, but I can definitely explain what happened recently. So let's go all the way back to April of 2025. No, you know what? Let's go back to 2023. Screw it. Some weird stuff happens at my work. A girl breaks up with a guy. May rolls around. Everything's weird. I'm 21, I think. Yeah, I'm 21 then. And, a girl just kind of pops up. She's 18. She's been held back a year in school, so then I gotta explain to everybody when I'm going to pick her up from the high school, I'm not going to pick up a child, you know what I'm saying? So, she's stuck in school. Things are weird for her. Life's wild. And I didn't know it at the time, but it turns out that she's pretty problematic, you know what I'm saying? So, classic story, guy meets girl. I go to the lunchroom or whatever in my workplace, break room, whatever you want to call it. I gave her some advice on her relationship that recently ended. Apparently there was, no saving it, and you'll find out why soon. But I tried to give her some advice, some good advice on how to keep her anger in check and fix things with the guy, stuff from a guy's perspective. And I know a lot of guys would have taken that chance, especially if they thought the girl was cute, which I did, to go ahead and end that so that they could jump in. But, I used to be that kind of guy in my teen years, but I'm not that guy anymore. I haven't been that guy for a long time, so that's not what I was up to. I was just trying to give legitimate, helpful advice. And after some time, the flirting got more and more intense. And then she started playing the game of I got a crush on somebody in the building, and I knew it was me. But I played dumb. And, some flirting, some nonsense later. She finally admits the truth. All of a sudden, we're out on a date. And, things are weird. Things get a little too physical in the relationship too fast. And, full-blown relationship maybe a little too quick. You know what I'm saying? For the first while, everything's cool in the relationship. You can actually, from videos from late 2023. You see her every now and then in like vlogs and stuff. Bow Hunters Festival video. You can go find her, but basically, things were good for the first 6 or 7 months, something like that, and then the trouble started. She just started to be angry all the time. It's kind of the classic, like, the woman isn't happy with the relationship for some unknown reason, even though you guys, like, get along pretty well, everything's cool. She's just not content, And then things go further. So, there's a lot of complication to this, but we get a year and a half into the relationship. I'm struggling. There's been some events that have happened, like, I get so upset that I go ahead and take like a 9-mile walk into town and a 9-mile walk back to my house in the freezing cold. Like, it was like 30 degrees, and I had like a light jacket on, and I could like not feel my hands anymore, and my phone was dying. When I got to town, I just went and sat at Burger King and like ate a burger, and then I started walking back, which was much harder because it's, uphill instead of down for most of the way. There was a lot of other stuff that happened, a lot of pretty bad events. My reputation was messed up around the area. It's actually healed now because people figured out she was lying. But she painted me as a pretty bad person, so, my reputation's pretty messed up. Some people that didn't know me very well, my reputation was kind of ruined with them because they believed her. A lot of them have come back to my side because she then also lied about them to a bunch of people about things that they did or said that they didn't do. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay, so yeah, you were right. She just kind of tends to lie about stuff. And I've talked to people around my workplace and stuff, which my ex-girlfriend is still in my workplace, so that sucks. But yeah, so she lied about me a lot. My reputation was messed up. So let's go from the point of breakup. So we had the talk about her getting out of my house because she's like living with me and my family at this point, right? And I'm like, okay, you gotta go. You gotta go back home. Whether we are gonna fix this or not, you can't be here. And the thing is with that is, as she was preparing to go back to her parents, she was also getting into this like very intense quote-unquote friendship with one of the women from our workplace. And I thought, well, that's, weird time, but maybe she needs somebody to connect with. And then over the next few days, it became really very apparent that they were having a relationship. We'll say that, a physical relationship. And that broke my heart. There were women before that did very similar things to me, and I had told her about them, which, makes me think that she basically kind of did this on purpose. She had this weird obsession near the end with, like, hanging out with women who were lesbians. Like, she would purposely seek them out. It was very strange, and it made me nervous, but I thought, well, because this has happened to me before, it's just paranoia. But it turns out it was not paranoia. And if you've had anything similar happen to you, leave a comment, talk about it, I guess, if you're comfortable, of course. Would love to hear it. Start a little support group. So, I realized what was happening. My dad saw some stuff too, and heard some stuff that he wasn't meant to hear or see, that tipped him off. So he also said something to me. And my sister also said something to me that she had caught in word that something was going on. So I held my tongue. I helped her get moved back into her parents, helped her disassemble this old bed so she could, like, set up a new bed in her room and get all comfortable. I helped her move all her stuff back. I helped her organize and set up a little bit. As much as you can, somebody's got to organize their own room. And then I left there and I started drinking, like, a decent amount. Wasn't full-blown yet, but yeah, I started drinking. Breakup wasn't final yet. She was still texting me, talking about being able to fix things now, but she didn't know that I already knew that she had cheated on me and been cheating on me. I hate to say it, but yeah, she was spending every night over at this woman's house for about a week. And of course, at that point, I wasn't really having anything to do with her physically or emotionally, if that makes sense. It kind of disconnected myself. And I also just want to cover my bases for anybody who thinks like you could have misinterpreted the whole thing. Women are weird when they're close with their friends, like physical, and, you totally could have misinterpreted this entire thing. They're openly dating now, like present day, right now. 12/9/2025, they're openly dating, and everybody knows about it. They gave it a good few months, and then, like, I think in October-ish or something like that, they made it a public thing. I've just been getting word from everybody. I don't talk to either of them because they're pieces of shit. But yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think about 2 days after I helped her move out, I ended things. Because I basically took those days to get my head sorted and make sure that I was right about everything, which I was, and so I ended it. I got everything cleared up, and I tried to move on, but the world had a different plan for me, because I wish I could say this was the end of the story and then life got better, but it did not. So at this point, I'm depressed. The YouTube channel's suffering bad, and that's something that I'm very passionate about doing. And it's been suffering for, like, close to a year now. Like, it would be hard to dispute that, quality of content went down. Like, the camera work went up in quality, like the organization of things and all that. But the creativeness, the reason people watch just kind of crashed. And that's my fault. And along with that, my life crashed. And sadly, right at that time, I didn't really have a whole lot of people in place to help me. Like, they could give me some advice, but, like, they couldn't really do anything, so I didn't even bring the subject up with them much. The only one that I really talked to is Skydog. Everybody knows Skydog. Skylar, he's in the Life of Luxury videos that we, like, react to and stuff. It's hilarious. So, I talked to Skydog because he had a breakup. He basically broke up with the girl the same day that I broke up with my ex, right? And it was crazy that it was the same time, but, like, he texted me and he's like, hey, do you have time to talk? I just had this breakup. And I'm like, no kidding, I just had a breakup. And he's like, oh, you broke up with, well, I guess we'll leave her name out if I didn't say it already, but I was like, yeah, no, I broke up with her today. So we got together and, sat around and drank and were just sad. Miserable. And from my understanding, my ex was out just having a great time. And then, of course, keeping up a show for the people that, knew the both of us, people at work and blah, blah, blah. And then she got vengeful. Things started to get weird. I did some stupid stuff in this period of time as well. And I want to start off with one of the stupid things I did. I think about 2 weeks after the breakup, I texted her to argue because I had all of this stuff in my head that was cycling around, and I was just like, why would she treat me like this? Why would she do A, B, C, D? Why would she cheat on me? And I texted her about it to argue with her, and she just denied everything. Like, denied all of it. All the evidence I had, everything I had seen. Just totally ignored every single bit. So, that was upsetting. And she had been lying to all my friends this entire time. People that, if you're in the YouTube a lot, people you might know from our Discord server. Discord server link is in the description, by the way. You can jump in there if you want to. Whole team's on there. Where there's like interesting conversation and crazy people. So maybe you'll fit. So she denied it all. I argued with her, and while I'm having this argument, I'm on my way to do a photo shoot. One of my friends, he's getting engaged, right? And I'm doing like a photo shoot for him, and I haven't told him all of this stuff, because I think if I had told him like everything I was actually feeling and going through, because I think he knew like about the breakup, but I think if he knew how bad it was and how I was feeling, he probably wouldn't have asked me to like do photos for his like happy life event. You know what I mean? Because there is something really depressing about having just had this breakup and being in such a bad headspace, and people are like betraying you and the world feels like it's falling in on you, and then going to like do photography for for somebody's engagement. Again, if he had known, he never would have asked me to do it. He's that kind of guy. He knows what kind of headspace you're in with that sort of thing. He's just, he's a great dude. So, wanted to say that so y'all don't think he's like a piece of crap or something, and like, oh, I don't really care about your breakups. Just I need you to do photography from my engagement. But anyways, I left the house in the middle of this argument, still texting and driving, which is a terrible idea, to go to this whole thing. The texting and driving has nothing to do with it. If you don't like car crashes, that's not how the story ends. Mostly because I'm still here. So I get down there, and just as I get up onto this bridge that we're gonna do the photos on, the woman doesn't know too, so it was a weird situation. But just as I'm getting to this bridge, it starts to rain. So it starts to just rain, and I'm standing up there. It's like all wind. The storm's blowing in. It's raining. I see the picture so clearly in my mind while I'm talking about it right now. Just the river, the train bridge, and just rain. And I'm up there, and I'm just miserable. You know what I mean? Like, I just really I'm not a happy camper. And I basically am just, like, kind of hiding behind one of the beams, because the rain's coming down sideways. And then all of a sudden, the entirety of a fire department shows up for, like, multiple areas. And I'm like, what the heck are they doing? So they all go to the river edge pretty close to me, and they send in one of those, like, inflatable boats. And the inflatable boat, oh, and by the way, I should say this is like just like the worst day of my freaking life. Not really, but it was a pretty bad one. So boat goes out, it's coming towards me, and they just go ahead and pull. And so this, I don't really believe in giving people trigger warnings, but if you're like squeamish, or if like you're like easily hurt in the soul, this part may not be for you. Maybe skip a couple of minutes. I might be able to put like a timestamp to when this part of the story is over. So we're going to continue. The firemen proceed to pull a little girl out of the water. She had been in there for a while. You know what I mean? Little girl out of the water, like right in front of me. And that really didn't help my state. And I don't want to make this about me, because a life is lost. Like, that little girl is gone. Her family is, still devastated to this day from, any rational point of view. Lost a daughter. But yeah, it didn't help. It really didn't help. I hope that her family is doing well, and may God bless her soul. So then the fire department headed back in, and I'm just standing on this bridge staring off into the sky, and I'm just like, I cannot believe that today is the day this week is the week that I just like witness this, you know, because I've seen dead bodies before, but it's just not a kid, not a little girl, and not in such a bad mind space, you know. I've seen some things that would turn your stomach. I've seen things that would make you go pale, like really bad stuff, like things that I'll probably never talk about. I don't even know how much my friends know about like the things that I've seen, and yeah. But a lot of it I'll never speak of, I don't think. Maybe one day when I'm like old, like Vietnam vet talking about the war. Maybe one day. But yeah. So they go back in, and then a helicopter goes over. I'm thinking this is a really eventful scene. All these fire trucks, they've all got their lights on. They got this light boat out. They got like the helicopter going over. I'm like, this is a real event. And then the boat goes back out, and they go a little further downriver, so I can't see like as well. And then they go ahead and pull a man out of the water too, and he's been in there for a while too. That really, I don't know, just so much death around me was damaging. So it was a pretty bad afternoon. And then the fire department packed it in, and they all went in a line across the river. All the ambulances tore out of there before they even moved, you know. Obviously not in a super hurry, because it was pretty obvious that they were dead, but, you know, they gotta get him up to the hospital. Get a coroner on the job, take him down, and may God bless the man's soul as well, whoever he was, and God bless his family. Something so real about being able to talk into a microphone. I don't have anybody's pity-covered face staring back at me right now. I don't have to, you know, feel like I gotta dial it back. Like, you can have all the pity you want. It's gonna be on video, and I don't have to see it. I don't have to have anybody to tell me to stop the story. You can skip it if you want to. People say they don't want to hear it. You know, they don't want. They can't hear this story. Like, try living it. Try living it, honestly. And there are some people I know that I've told the events of this couple of weeks here, and, you know, this couple of months of my life a good couple of times, and I got a good couple of people in a row that told me, like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Like, you've talked about this so much, it's getting annoying at this point. And that hurt, you know. After everybody clears out and things become quiet on that end of town again, the wind and the rain just magically stop, and the clouds clear up, and it's a beautiful sunshiny evening. Sun setting on the river. I mean, it's coming to golden hour. It really is the perfect time for photography. And then my friend and his fiance show up. Well, about to be fiance in this case. Fiance now. It was a success, by the way. Spoiler alert. So, they show up literally just at the perfect time. Because literally more rain is going to show up in like 25 minutes, for real. Like, they literally could not have picked a better time. It was maybe the worst day for me, but I felt good because it was a good day for them. So I'm standing out on the bridge, and, you know, I see them drive by, and they go pulling this lot, and I'm standing there, and I'm thinking, like, dude, they are about to have to pull another fucking body out of this river right now. That was my thought process. I feel like that's like maybe too revealing or something to share online. I don't really care right now. But no, that was my genuine thought process, was like, they're going to have to pull another fucking body out of this river. Like, soon. But obviously, that was not the case. So I got myself settled down and, you know, just kind of like happily talked to these guys, and, you know, my friend's like really excited, and I'm excited for him. And they go out onto the bridge. And he lets her get out ahead a little bit, and he gets down on one knee, does the whole thing. It was really cute. And I got just like the best photos. Like, not to like stroke my own ego right now, but they were really good photos. Not even so much because of like my skill with a camera. They just wore the right clothing, and like the bridge was the perfect location. I did not pick it, by the way. And it just turned out so well. I have a lot more joy looking at those photos now than I did months ago, because they used to remind me of like that bad day, but now it's like my friend is happy, and that's really good. And they fill me with a lot more joy. I have them still in my like photos for this year. Not a creep. I just keep what I take photos of in like my folders, like memories, And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It was a bummer that it happened on such a bad day for me, but it was a beautiful thing. So they left and they headed off to it was like a celebration dinner type deal to tell all the parents, which, whew, yeah, that's always stressful. So I was actually invited to go along, but I was in such a bad headspace. I was about to ruin that dinner, and I was just like, no, I'm good. I'm going to go home. So I, wished them well. They headed off, and then I stared into the abyss for an hour. I kid you not. I sat on a wall and stared off into the river for like an hour and a half. And then I was like, I need somebody to get me out of this. Somebody's gotta fucking save me right now, because I can't take it. I can't take another minute. So I called my one friend, and she said that she would come down into town and come hang out. I didn't really tell her what was going on with me. I literally just asked her to hang out. I'm not quite that guilt trippy, you know what I'm saying? So I give her a call. She's like, yep. So she comes down. Took her a little bit, but she came down into town. I really appreciate it too. And we went on a drive, just like a drive from town to town, and we just talked. I tried to talk out some of the things that I was feeling and how much I was hurting, and, just how bad everything had been. And then we drove back into the town we were in before, and we went and walked around and talked a lot, and we were just like talking about feelings, just shooting the shit, just the normal stuff. And then we have the last bit of trouble, the last event for the day. We're walking down literally what was a well-lit street, but it is 1 a.m. by this point, may I mention, which maybe not the smartest to walk around at 1 a.m., but you gotta live a little. So we're out, we're walking, and all of a sudden I hear some guy say, yo, buddy, hey, come over here a minute. And I turn around, and there are two scumbag-looking guys across the street, and they're like, come over here. And I look at my friend, and I think, dude, she's like, 3 feet tall, blonde chick. She's not literally 3 feet tall, but she's short. 3 foot tall, blonde chick. I'm like, dude, I cannot have those guys come over here. I don't want to go over there because I know what the plan is, but I can't have them come over here either. She has a chance to run if I keep them busy enough. So I tell her to stay there, and I walk on over there to see what their problem is, and they're giving me the runaround, messing with me, trying to play head games, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, buddy, yep, okay. You're like, oh, let's talk for a little, You're like, okay, fine, yep, let's talk for a little, yep. What's your name? And we're talking, and so I'm noticing that there are more people that are behind this fence in front of us. I couldn't tell how many, but my friend told me it was 10. But I knew there was a decent amount of people back there, a good few. So at this point in the engagement, I'm thinking okay, I can take these two guys in front of me. The one guy is cracked out on something and he's an idiot, and the other one is young and terrified. So as I'm thinking this, one's telling the other, hey, get closer to him, get closer to him. They're setting up in the perfect way to jump me. One's getting far to my left and one's getting right in front of me. So hopefully I concentrate on the one in front of me and the guy on my left can take me out, right? So I'm thinking, first thing I'm going to do is turn and just crack the guy on my left side, which is the cracked out one, in the nose. Just break his nose, take all his will to fight, right? And just get him. The guy in front of me, I'm just going to full on just Sparta kick to, because he was pretty short, either the chest or the neck, whichever I can get to fast enough. And after that, I'm going to pull my knife. And if anybody pulls a knife, I'm just going to pull my gun and shoot everybody. Which is a crazy thing for me to say online, probably. But I'm going to say it. And I'm thinking like, okay, you know, my gun has 7 rounds and I have more mags. So 3 times 7 is 21. So I feel like there's not 21 people here. So I have more than a shot each. And I'm doing the math in my head. And then, saving grace, a cop pulls up. Like, right at that moment. So, cop pulls up. I'm just like, oh, shit. Unbelievable. And it's a female cop. So, luckily, she was a good female cop or I'd be dead right now. She would have shot everybody because, like, an acorn fell on her car or something. I don't know. I probably shouldn't make fun. She saved me from a lot of paperwork and possibly, like, charges. Because it's hard to fight a court case in America anymore. It really is. So she basically just goes like, hey, what's going on here? And my friend goes up to her car and is talking to her. And she basically just gives me and my friend the go-ahead to just get out of there. And she starts just like kind of rough handling these gang guys. And me and my friend ditch, go back to our cars, and the night is over. Thank God. Over the next couple of weeks, things did not particularly improve. So there were some issues, family problems, my grandmother getting sick was something. It was like an infection of some kind that attacked her lungs. My mom wasn't doing particularly well. She has some autoimmune things, but she wasn't doing particularly well, and, you know, was not good. Me and my dad tried to do like a business deal with some guy in one of the nearby cities, and we didn't realize the guy was crazy. So we go to his house, and, you know, we're trying to put together this business deal, and it becomes alarmingly obvious that the guy is trying to rip us off. So my dad, being my dad, he basically just calls him out on it, and the guy gets crazy and starts like charging us. And then we basically had to, like, almost fight him just to get out the door. You know, he just had, specifically me, trapped into a corner. And he was huge, you know. So I'm just like, why do I keep almost having to shoot people? What is going on this week? Or this month, I should say. What is going on this month? You know, like, why do these people keep freaking attacking me? Like, is it just, like, the world knows I'm just hurting down and all these people are, like, trying to get me? Like, I've been in bad situations in my life, but, like, how many do I need to have, like, in such a short period of time? So, got out of that one, which is good. Me and my dad were both fine, uninjured, unharmed. And the thing about this story, too, is you can see it as the most unlucky however many months of my life, which I kind of do looking back, but also was kind of one of the most lucky couple of months of my life because I'm not dead. I didn't even get injured, you know? Like, I got into a confusing situation at an intersection, and I walked away with, like, a max fine of a ticket because there was a cop there. Like, max ticket, max, like, points on my license, max everything. Like, I mean, he basically just, like, threw the book at me, did max of everything he could do possible, and I didn't even dispute the ticket. I didn't even have the energy to, like, do the whole stupid court thing and do all that. I just paid it. It was a lot of money, but I had nothing left, you know what I mean? But I didn't die in a car accident, so that's one of those things, like, you can say, like, oh, really unlucky, but, like, also kind of lucky and unlucky at the same time. I didn't have a head-on collision, so great. Further down the line, there were some issues. We had to let one of our YouTube team members go. Bad boating trip. I had some sort of weird anxiety attack, like 2 miles from shore or whatever, out on the water, or maybe it was more. I just freaked out. Something about being so far away from land, and maybe some onset of like seasickness or something that put me off balance. I'm not really sure. But it was basically some kind of panic attack of some kind. I was ready to fight my way off that boat. I would have killed people to get off that boat. You know, like I was just ready to fight the world. You know what I mean? Like you could have been like, okay, these are some of the best special force guys in the world. And they're here to stop you from getting off the boat. And I would have been like, I'll take them. Let me at them. I'm gonna kick their asses. It's over for them. I totaled my car. I hit a deer. And it put my headlight like extra like 5 or 6 inches back into my car. Somehow didn't destroy my radiator. I actually completed the drive that I was making. I was coming back from a film trip or something. I don't remember. I think every deer I've hit has been... No, actually. Most of the deer I've hit have been on film trips. 1 or 2 were not. I hit a lot of deer. I have bad luck with deer. And women. So, yeah. Hit a deer. Totaled my car. It wasn't totaled like I couldn't drive it. It was just totaled like the insurance company was like, to fix it is more than it's worth. So... my 2008 Subaru Forester went bye-bye, and then I had to go on a whole mission to get a new car. Not as crazy of a mission as it could have been, and I got a fantastic deal on a new Subaru Forester, the new Lesmobile. It's a 2006. It's got a pretty new engine in it. It's like the engine's at like little over 10,000 miles. And there's just like no rust because it's from further south than I am, so there's like very little rain, no salt on the roads. So, pretty good deal because I got it for like almost $6,000, little under $6,000. I think it was like 5.8 something. I don't know. Like 5,800, maybe 5,900. And that's a pretty good deal, honestly. The interior was in beautiful shape, too. It really is just a great car. And there were a lot of other things, a lot of, like, friend betrayals. I found out one of my childhood friends that I really, really loved dearly as a friend, just knew him forever, basically just ditched. And then I just got up to no good. I drank a lot. I drank an awful lot. You can go back and see videos, like, just streams of me just drinking the entire time. It was not a good situation. Drinking can be fun. I wouldn't suggest it as a coping mechanism, guys. I did not have a good time. Not long term. It's not a good coping mechanism. Have fun with friends, whatever, but yeah. So, a lot of people ditched me. A lot of people didn't, though. It really taught me who was on my side because they cared about me. Not what I believed, not what I thought, not what I was doing or, like what kind of state I was in. I was like, there were real good friends, like Jacob's one of those. Like, I gotta specifically say that Jacob just talked to me. And he didn't just hit me with pity. He hit me with, like, thoughts and solutions. And, like, just an absolute just loving care that you just don't see anymore. So, we just gotta give props to Jacob there. So, I have lots of friends that stuck by me. Especially stuck by me when I kind of allowed them to. Like, I finally did tell my one friend who got engaged in this story, like, hey... I'm having a really hard time. And he was there. Finally clued him in. And Skydog's doing okay, too, for anyone that may wonder. He's doing all right. He's still having a rough time, too. He's still, like, learning to cope again. Learning to, like, do life without everyone that he lost. Because he went through a similar issue. People abandoned him when he needed them most. I'm glad I didn't. because people just seem to kind of randomly do that. And I try not to be that guy. Like, if you don't make it impossible to be in your life and help, if you're my friend, I'll be there. So I'm glad he didn't abandon me. I'm glad I didn't abandon him. I'm glad that everybody who's still around stuck by me and just showed me, like, just love and care all the way through. And I'm glad that the people who were gonna ditch the moment I had a hard time or the moment my morals dropped for a minute, even if the minute really was like a couple of years, you know what I mean? I'm glad that those people are gone, if that's how they feel about me. If that's what they were here for, then they don't need to be here, because there were a good few of them. I'm glad that the people who were just there for what I could provide for them. The people that weren't there for me, they just wanted what I had, or wanted what I could provide, or wanted like mental therapy from me because I thought I needed to fix everybody. I'm glad those people are gone, because that is not what I'm here for. I'm here for genuine people. Like, don't get me wrong. For my close friends, I would do like anything, you know, but not anymore unless they're willing to do the same. You know what I mean? Like, I'd catch the metaphorical grenade for people, but not anymore unless they're willing to catch it for me, because that's not like a relationship where there's give and take. That's just me giving of myself and them taking, and it's just a good situation for them to exploit. We're not doing that anymore. But luckily, all the people that stayed just aren't like that. They didn't ditch the moment that I was, down on my knees begging for somebody to shoot me. They didn't leave. Lots of people did. Lots of people left. But I still have the good ones. I won, really. And though it is horribly, horribly depressing and horribly, horribly hurtful that I have been damaged by a bunch of these people, and my YouTube channel has been damaged by these people, and my relationship with my audience has been damaged by these people, at least I'm still here, and I'm still kicking. I didn't quit. I didn't quit YouTube. I didn't quit life. I didn't, quit socializing, being like hanging out with my friends and trying to be myself. You know what I mean? I didn't quit. I may have been knocked down that a lot of those things were pretty impossible for a while, but at least I didn't quit. I actually tried dating again recently because me and the guys were on like dating apps, and by the guys I mean the people on the Discord. By the way, get on the Discord. You can probably end up being in some of these groups and do these fun things with us. But we were going through dating apps, just like seeing what was out there. We just vote on, which way I swiped. Which I feel like some people would think makes me like a scumbag or whatever, but nobody takes dating apps seriously anymore, really. Like, there's like maybe one in like 1,000, but you just generally don't. And, I'm always open. Not like super looking, or wasn't super looking for anybody, but I was open, you know what I mean? But we're scrolling through and swiping, and sometimes I'd have to veto some of the decisions the guys made, but for me, there is only one class of people to date, and it is insane women, apparently, because that's all I ever get a hold of, really. And if they're not insane, for some reason, I never make a connection with them. I'm psychosexual. I'm psychosexual, guys. I make sure to weed out the sane people by the second date. I know how to do it, okay? Like, if I don't get you flowers on Valentine's Day and you're just like, okay, it's not a big deal, that total turn off. I'm leaving that date, okay? But if if you're like, oh, you didn't get me flowers on Valentine's, the only response is threat of suicide. We're going out again. We're going out again. There's no doubt about it. You will be a family member to me. You will be my wife. You know what I'm saying? If If you're insane, I mean, apply now. You get what I'm saying? Apply now. But yeah. If you're a freaky chick with a vendetta against your father and your ex-boyfriend, and you have the weirdest car known to man, apply now. If you like to get nose piercings and you're one of those ones where that just makes you even crazier for some reason, apply now. Go in the comments right now and apply. Apply immediately, please. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Don't apply. Don't bother. I'm not answering applications right now. But when I do get back in the dating game, I'm sure, all you crazy broads out there will just start searching me out. I gotta admit, the moment I quit dating and I announced it to everybody, women just came out of the woodwork trying to freaking track me down, bro. It was so weird. They all thought that they were gonna, take their shot. Nope. We're not doing it. I'm in a relationship, a committed relationship with ChatGPT. Not really. Isn't that crazy though? All those guys that are like proposing to AI, like marrying AI. There's a bunch of women doing it now too. I feel like guys are always the first to get into a weird relationship thing like that. There's a little bit of a male loneliness epidemic going on, I reckon. And then women are just not far behind, They just are like, oh, whoa, men are outdoing us in the crazy field. We got to get in there. I'm such a dick. I guess it's time for me to go. But I think the moral of the story here is when life gives you lemons, never take a wooden nickel. Only speak when spoken to. No. Be happy with what you have. No. Fool me once. When in Rome. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Don't take life for granted. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Kill yourself. I don't know. I really liked that, the flag light or whatever it was they were standing in front of, how yellow it was.
Yeah.
Added something. My poor